The Dallas Mavericks are on a roll, looking like a championship team that was promised in the offseason. I think the beauty of this season for them is it turned around in an unexpected way. Luka Doncic getting injured. It resulted in the role players stepping up without him. 5-1 so far this year without Luka. The prior two seasons, 9-19 without Luka, a disturbing 32 win percentage. In my opinion, the Mavericks have two candidates for a role player of the year if that award existed. Man, oh man, I believe PJ Washington would be the front runner. Last 10 games during their hot stretch, he's averaging 16.2 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game, while shooting 48% from the field and 54% from three on 3.7 attempts per game. And when he's in the lineup, they just win games. 14-4 record with him and 1-4 without him this season. And all-time, his record with Dallas is 35-12, a 75 win percentage. He's so important to them because he can guard the perimeter, protect the rim. He's so versatile defensively. He can guard multiple positions. He rebounds the basketball on both ends of the floor. He's third on the team in contested shots, only behind their two big men, Lively and Gafford. I truly believe he's the glue that keeps everything together. Because to put it simply, they don't have another PJ Washington on the roster. And for that reason, I believe he's the third most important player on the team behind Luka and Kyrie. And the second nomination for Role Player of the Year is Derek Lively. Just like PJ Washington, when he's in the lineup, they win games. 13-5 record with him, 2-3 record without him this season. And then all time, 48-25, a 65 win percentage. He's their best rim protector. He leads the team in contested shots and averages 1.6 blocks per game. And just like PJ Washington, he's switchable, super versatile, can guard the perimeter, can guard multiple positions despite being a center. He truly is a master of all the little things. 3.1 offensive rebounds per game, which is top 20 in the NBA. He's a great lob threat for Luka and Kyrie, spacing the floor with his athleticism. He leads the team in screen assists per game as well. Now, the one thing he has to work on is staying out of foul trouble so he can play more minutes. He's averaging a career-high 3 fouls per game. And listen to this. In wins this season, Lively is averaging 2.8 fouls per game. Meanwhile, in losses, he's averaging 3.6 with less minutes played, because Jason Kidd has to manage his minutes due to foul trouble. This is definitely something to keep an eye on moving forward because he really should be getting more minutes. He only plays 23 minutes per night, but the foul trouble aspect really hinders him from playing more. Now let's go over two new additions that have been thriving with the team. Najee Marshall. He started out slow, but my goodness, he has turned things around. He is an option offensively that you can go to and be like, yo, drive the basketball, kick it out to your teammates, or score for yourself. It makes the Mavericks offense as a whole a lot more dynamic, something they were missing from their role players last year. He's averaging 17.6 points per game, shooting 60% from the field and 45% from three in his last 10 games. And he's also averaging 2.4 assists per game. And again, he's another guy who can switch defensively, guard multiple positions. The Mavericks can do so many things with their personnel. It gives them a huge advantage in a playoff series. They also now have countless guys who can just go off offensively on a random night. So if someone doesn't have it, Jason Kidd can be like, I'm going to the next guy. I guarantee you in the playoffs, there's going to be a Najee Marshall game. Then maybe the next series, a Klay Thompson game. And then a Quentin Grimes game. This team is deeper than ever before. And not only that, but it seems like they really enjoy playing with each other and they're really growing that chemistry, which is a scary sight. Now it's time to go over Quentin Grimes. Defensively, he's not afraid of matching up against the best perimeter threat of the other team. PJ Washington, Najee Marshall really thrive on forwards and bigger players. Quentin Grimes arguably is their best defender for quick guards. Not only that, he does everything you want in a role player offensively. He has enough juice on that end of the floor to swing a game if he's hot. Last 10 games, he's averaging 15 points per game while shooting 5 3-pointers a game at 47% from 3. I mean, that's called production. He's giving you those numbers in 28 minutes per game off the bench. Now, he did start in a few of those games because Luka and Klay Thompson were injured, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that production up in a lesser role off the bench once the Mavericks are fully whole. And it's also going to be interesting to see how much his minutes go down. I don't know if you can reduce his minutes. That's how impactful he has been. Then how about Spencer Dinwiddie? Something about playing in Dallas really gets him playing his best basketball. Last year, he was one of the most inefficient players in the NBA. All of a sudden, he's back to the best version of himself. He's arguably the best playmaker on the team outside of Luka and Kyrie. Last 10 games, he's averaging 5.1 assists per game. Not only that, 13.9 points, 46% from 3 on 5 attempts per game. Unreal production for a vet minimum signing. Probably the most underrated aspect of all this depth and the Mavericks showing that they can win in a bad Luka game is Luka can take a back seat and coast a bit. He should have way more left in the tank during the playoffs. They have 10 wins with Luka this season, and he's only averaging 26 points per game in those wins. Last year, in wins, he had to be Superman. He was averaging 34 points per game. His usage rating also dropped from 36% to 33%. And now that they are winning without him, it's easier to look at the schedule and be like, okay, back-to-back games, 3 games in 4 nights. Hey, Luka, how about you take a seat? You look a little banged up. We got you. We're going to win without you. And overall, this team is just playing faster than ever before. Top 5 in fast break points per game, number 9 in pace. And Luka Doncic himself is taking advantage, averaging 4.1 fast break points per game, easily a career high. And that actually ranks number 9 in the NBA. He was not even sniffing the top 10 in the prior 2 seasons, 2.9 points last year. And then the year before, only 1.7 fast break points per game. So clearly this has been a point of emphasis for him to improve each year. And right now the Mavericks have a top 5 offense and a top 10 defense. I believe OKC and Dallas are the top tier teams in the Western Conference. Everyone else is a category under them. And personally, I got the Mavericks over the Thunder right now in a series. Let me know your thoughts below on that in the comments section.